In today's episode, I'll be giving my review and reaction to the 2025 film Sinners, just released on February 18th. I was able to see it in theaters on February 19th, going into February 20th. So, one of my more recent reactions, very raw, very emotional, recording this on 420. Sinners is a 2025 period horror movie with a runtime of 2 hours and 18 minutes, directed by Ryan Coogler, who is coming up in the game. I've only seen Black Panther and Black Panther Wakanda Forever. Liked both those movies, so excited to see what Ryan Coogler had coming into this one. Obviously, there's a lot to talk about. This movie stars Michael B. Jordan, Haley Steinfeld, Miles Catan, Jack O'Connell, Wunmi Mosaku, Jamie Lawson, Omar Miller, Buddy Guy, Delroy Lindo, and Lee Jun Lee. So let's dive right into Sinners. Do something, man. People are questioning you. Shut up. Shut up. Okay, yep, do that. Sure, guys. Stupid and dumb. Just an idiot. Get your shit together, son. Fuck it. I loved it. Welcome to the Dub Cast. As I just mentioned in my sort of preamble there was a crazy reception to this movie. You know, being on sort of movie Twitter, I follow that page discussing film. They were giving this movie very high regards. I think this movie dropped with like a 4.7 on Letterboxd, which is just a crazy score if you're a Letterboxd user. I think Rotten Tomatoes it was 98%. All the buzz in the movie theaters was around this movie. Now, I'm someone who has fought for movie theaters to be filled. Like, I think we should be going to the movies once or twice a month. I've been trying to get on that. I've been doing a bad job, obviously, as seen by my reviews. But when offered the opportunity to go check this movie out with my friends, I had to oblige. I had to see what the hype was about. And for the most part, I don't think this movie disappointed at all. I thought this was a very good movie. You know, you hear about Michael B. Jordan and Ryan Coogler, and then I don't know, like it doesn't do much for me because I just, Ryan Coogler is just the Black Panther guy to me. I don't know his other works, but this movie impressed, and you know, I'm not the biggest horror movie fan at all. Actually didn't think this movie was even a horror movie going into it. I don't think it was even a horror movie coming out of it. Like there wasn't really a lot of what you typically expect from a horror movie. I think that also made it more likable to me in my opinion. I'm not really a big horror movie person anyways, so appreciated that aspect of the horror mostly just being about the vampires, which we can dive into the vampires in a second. But yeah, I really like this movie. Kept me pretty entertained throughout. This has a shorter runtime, not shorter, but somewhat decent length time, runtime of 2 hours and 18 minutes. Doesn't feel like that at all. It felt like I was in the theater for an hour. 1 second they're building up the story, and then all of a sudden, the story just hits, and you're right in the thick of it. I actually really like the music of this movie. Some of my friends disagree on that on the score, but I thought the score was pretty well done. I think it was done by Ludwig Göransson, who did the Oppenheimer soundtrack, so got to keep an eye out for his works in the future. But I feel like that set the pace really well for the movie. Michael B. Jordan was amazing in this movie. Not a lot of movie credits, really. I mean, you have him in The Wire, which is, in my opinion, the best TV show of all time. Only was in a season of that, but that's kind of where I give him his acting props. And besides Black Panther 1, where he was the villain in that movie, haven't seen Michael B. Jordan in a lot of movies, so I thought he killed it in this movie. Really, you had a great cast of characters. I feel like everyone pulled their weight, where you get into the thick of the movie and it's like you feel like everyone, all the characters, right? Cornbread, Smoke, Stack, Haley Steinfeld's character, the drunk guy, like the Asian couple. It felt like, you know, we knew everybody. So I think this movie definitely did a good job building the story. Now with the whole vampire aspects, I thought this movie was going to be just like, I don't know what to expect from really a vampire movie because I haven't seen these vampire movies. I haven't even ever seen Twilight. Don't kill me for that, but I just never got into that stuff. So I didn't know what to expect. I thought the vampires would be a more prominent part of the movie, but the first half of the movie is pretty clean from that vampire aspect of it. So you just jump right in and, you know, build up this story with Smoke and Stack, kind of running errands around. That part was fun. They pick up Miles Katan's character, who he's the breakout star of this movie. Apparently, this is his first ever movie. The kid who plays the preacher boy. So I like that first part of it too, and I feel like the vampire part wasn't overdone. I think they were able to actually mix in comedy pretty well into this movie. There were some like kind of funny parts where, I mean, this movie is a pretty serious movie, it takes itself pretty seriously, but a lot of funny stuff with the drunk character, the vampires outside singing was hilarious, and yeah, I think overall this was like the vampire part didn't really take away from it for me. I think I'll have to see if I ever watch another vampire movie, but I think this is about as well done as you can do a vampire movie. They're mostly realistic. I guess there's some rule about they're not allowed to enter unless you welcome them in. So that makes sense actually with Haley Steinfeld's character having to ask Cornbread to go back into the barn, or I forget what they were calling the place. But yeah, I thought that the vampire stuff was interesting. I liked how they were. I don't understand how the guy just randomly, the first vampire just randomly spawned in there, and then that was that. Got that couple, but shit happens. So I also like Smoke and Stack being, kind of distinguishable of different characters. Like, I think it's Stack is the one who ends up surviving, and Smoke's the one who ends up getting bit. But we can tell Stack's a little bit more serious. Smoke's kind of like trying to have fun with Haley Steinfeld's character, and etc. And I really liked the scenes before the vampire stuff even happens with the restaurant, not the restaurant, the kind of party scene out there. You know, adding this in, this is technically classified as a period horror. So, and the times of this movie, most of the African American people were slaves. So this, for them to all get together and have this nice party at this barn in the middle of nowhere and just kind of chill out for the night was cool to watch. And also I like the singing done by Miles Katan. I don't know if that was his actual voice, but he was actually making some good music. The other guy, the drunk guy I think he had a little, whatchamacallit, he had a harmonica at the beginning. I don't know what he had in the actual party, but that was a cool scene to see them all, get together, have fun, be able to get away from a little bit, even though they were actually going to be slaughtered by the KKK, which sucks. So, I don't know. I guess what would be worse, to be killed by vampires or be killed by the KKK? Probably vampires, so maybe that's better. I don't know. Maybe it's just the same. So, what else is there to say about this movie? I mean, the vampire stuff I thought was good. Like, moving forward towards the second half of the movie, when they're all in the circle and they're trying to figure out like who is the person who killed the guy on the floor, but that guy just passed out or something, and then they all eat the garlic. I thought that scene was interesting. The love interest of each character I thought was cool, where you have Smoke with Haley Steinfeld, then you have Stack with the other woman who's in Loki. Don't remember her name. And then also Miles Katan is with the girl who's married. So we kind of see those stories progress throughout the night as well. Thought each of those were interesting in their own right sort of way. And yeah, I mean, at the last bit of the movie, you just have chaos ensue where the vampires are able to raid the house. I guess they just decide that that's it, that they got welcomed in, so they're gonna come in now. So I guess that part doesn't really make sense, but I like the drunk guy taking a stand. The wooden stakes through the heart. They needed a silver bullet to kill them all. And then that scene at the end where Miles Katan's character is the preacher boy is in the water, and the vampire wants to take him away for his talents and his songs and his his stories. I guess if the vampires take one person, they know all their stories, which was an interesting dynamic that we saw play out with the Asian couple, because now the guy's a vampire. They know the other vampire knows how the woman likes to be licked. Like, I thought that was funny and just weird overall. Not something I'm thinking about with a vampire movie. But I thought all those kind of little back and forth moments. You have Cornbread go take a piss, and then he comes back. Was he a vampire or not? Then he is a vampire when he reaches for the money. Like I thought, all these little interactions were funny, kept me captivated throughout. So I appreciated that because I've been a big critic on my channel of sometimes the middle of the movie kind of leaves you out of it and makes you lost. But this one, I was captivated throughout. So props for that. The ending with the vampires, I mean, it's action. It's a good scene, back and forth, biting, killing. Who can't be a fan of that? And then at the end, when Stack gets the revenge against the KKK people who actually were going to come and destroy the little thing they had out there and make it an actual slaughterhouse. That was really cool to see him be able to get the chance to do that, just wipe them all out, kind of in like a Scarface way. And then my interpretation of that scene at the end when he was seeing his love interest and the son they had was that he was probably ready to die because he did get shot. And then so he would pass away. And then Miles Catan riding back in the car was the lone survivor of the situation where he goes back to his dad with the guitar. Now, through the last part of the movie, I was really thinking that Miles Catan would come back and just be a vampire and bite his dad at some point. Especially because his dad like welcomed him to the church. Now I'm just thinking about that, but I like this ending where, we faced a lot of loss. We lost both the people of the Asian couple. We lost, the drunk guy sacrificed himself, which was a W play from him. We lost Smoke and Stack. We lost Cornbread. I mean, we really lost all the main characters besides Miles Catan and then the Asian couple's daughter. Um, so yeah, I mean, I think this was really well done. A lot of people are saying movies are dead in 2025, but you got to keep seeing them. I think this one's worth the hype to go check out. Overall, I'm landing this movie at an 8.3. Strong score. Would recommend for everyone to go check this out in the theaters while you can. We got to take these movie theaters for granted because I think it's on the decline. Streaming services are taking over, and there's nothing like watching a movie in a theater, especially a good sort of horror vampire film. Michael B. Jordan, Haley Steinfeld. What more could you ask? Would recommend this to everyone. So, where does this rank amongst the Dubcast movie pantheon? This ties with three other movies at an 8.3, with ties with Nightcrawler, Devil's Advocate, and The Revenant. I would take this movie over The Revenant, in my opinion, but the other two I have over it slightly. Once again, just kind of nitpicking because they're all the same 8.3 generalities. So, this comes in at number 19 of 54 movies reviewed so far. And other movies to compare it to, we had Haley Steinfeld. She is in Spider-Man Into the Spider-Verse, which was an 8.5, and Spider-Man Across the Spider-Verse, which is a 9.0. So this, unfortunately, is the worst Haley Steinfeld movie on the list. But I'm sure if we ever watch another Haley Steinfeld movie, that'll be quickly replaced because those are three great movies. So strong review for Sinners. Really enjoyed watching this. Was glad I took the chance on it and went to go see it. I'd recommend everyone does the same. Have been thinking about it all day today. I'm sure I'll keep thinking about it throughout the week. So when you're thinking about a movie and it makes you feel something, it was a good film. So that'll wrap up Sinners 2025. What did you guys think of it? Did you like it? Did you hate it? What would you rate it? Yeah. And so now for other stuff happening in the Dubcast, just had White Lotus tier list drop yesterday, season 3. Before that, we had a nice NBA live stream, Survivor content weekly, TV shows. Filming my Daredevil Born Again season review, and then we'll do a tier list for that as well. Severance season 2 tier list / review is coming as well. Just it's a little bit delayed due to other shows taking priority, other movies taking priority. Movie reviews in the works, still have Backdraft, still have Hunt for Red October in the works, and then we might have a live stream either tonight or tomorrow night for the NFL mock draft where I make my well-awaited return after getting the first 4 picks right next year. But yeah, I mean, you heard it all. This channel's crazy. We got sports, we got TV, we got movies. It's all happening here. So make sure to subscribe, like, comment, dislike. You know what to do. And as always, be easy, y'all.